All right, so it's been a little while since I posted a video. Honestly, it's been a little while since I've actually traded. Um, Work gets in the way, so the times that I have to trade, or I just try to trade on the days that I'm off or something like that. So I took a scalp later on in the day, and I just kind of waited for something to develop. It wasn't really hitting any of the key levels that I initially placed, but that's not always going to be the case. So I think eventually I'm going to have to learn how to kind of dig through what I see on the charts and kind of figure out if there's an opportunity to be taken or not. So what I saw here was kind of a slow trending move to the downside. Nothing really obvious sticking out to me. So I actually saw this bounce off of this zone right here, which is, I think it's a previous high from a few days ago. And I wasn't really feeling that one. I mean, I could see where the volume came in, bounced perfectly right off of that level, but I just didn't feel confident for the continuation to the upside. And what we can see here is it bounced, but then it came back to retest. Maybe that was a good position or the good spot to go in long. I still didn't take that's not exactly where I took either. Where I opened a trade up at. I wound up taking a trade up here, but what I saw as we're coming up right here on this chart on QQQ, I saw this increase in volume right here. I don't know if I can draw circles fast enough. It's pretty hideous. Let me delete that. So this little bit of volume coming in right here kind of led me to believe that it's trying to find a top and may reverse. Also, too, I think it was. Let me see if I can zoom in. This counter right here started with the above average volume, and then just as we got higher and higher, a little bit more volume came in, more than average. It just kind of that little area right there stands out above the rest of them. So then when I saw that, I was kind of starting to look around to see if there's any potential levels that it would be testing. And for the most part, the one obvious that I could see was this little area right here where it reversed at earlier. I wound up drawing this rectangle out, the zone, to kind of just give me some kind of a reference to see if it gets to that area or not. And lo and behold, it started to consolidate. I wound up taking a trade. What time did I take my trade at? Took my trade at 1309. Right after this candle closed. Right after this candle closed, I opened a trade up before this candle closes when I took a trade, and but I felt confident that this was going to pull back. It took a little longer, but another thing that I noticed that I looked at that helped me kind of possibly confirm a possible pullback was on the 3 minute chart, just the candle formation on the 3 minutes. So we had this up, these up candle moves. This one kind of right here made me believe that it was kind of losing strength. As wide as the candle is, the volume kind of drops off just a little bit. I don't know if that's negligible or if it's something to actually be, to look into. But we have this candle here previous to this one. This one has a narrower body with a lot more volume, whereas this one has a wider body with a little less volume. If this one was going to continue to the upside, I would imagine this candle would have had a lot more volume, showing strength behind it to continue the trend up. So then what I also saw was this rejecting candle here with volume, leading me to believe that sellers are stepping in. And then as we progressed, a couple more candles, showing a little bit of weakness. This candle right here, low volume. Next two candles on low volume. And then this is another shooting star candle, to me, showing weakness. Bunch of sellers stepping in. So at this point, it was a matter of just kind of waiting it out to see when it was actually going to pull back. So then going back to the 2 minute, we can see here that I wound up sitting through some consolidation, a little bit of chop when I entered about here. It pushed up here, pulled back, tested up here, pulled back. And I was almost getting ready to sell just because my mental stop loss would have been the top of this zone right here. And it got close, but I felt confident based on what I saw in the 3 minute and here on the 2 minute, the volume that it was going to pull back. So then eventually started to pull back a little bit, and we had this rejecting candle here, only for it to break. Let's see. And I did get out pretty early too, which is typical of me right now. But what I just try to take quick scalps. I can't say quick, but just scalp the move real quick. And I guess hindsight, look at the chart after the fact to see if my analysis was correct. You know, I did benefit from this put position, the short that I took. I wound up getting out right. I don't know what time. Maybe the close of 13:35. After this candle, I got it. I got out somewhere around the middle of these two candles above this purple line. And we can see that after the fact, yes, it did continue to the downside, but that's besides the point. So I'm really happy with that trade just because the ability to recognize, you know, some volume stepping in, leading me to believe that there's participants coming in for some reason or another. And at that point, you just got to kind of look at the charts and do your due diligence and react accordingly. Now, I was ready with a mental stop loss to stop out above this zone. So I kind of feel like I had, you know, my hand on the mouse, so to speak, on the trigger, ready to go if I needed to, if I needed to get out of the position or just wait it out, you know. And like I said, it benefited me where it actually did move in the direction that I was hoping it would, that it did move into. So that was my one quick trade. I got in at 30 cents, got out for 38 cents for $8 quick scalp, not including commissions and fees. But so I'm pretty happy with that one. Like I said, after the fact, we can see that, you know, it did pull back further. So I've mentioned this in my other videos where this is something that I have to work on. I have to work on holding out longer on my positions. But for the most part, I like taking a quick scalp just to kind of to help try to confirm that my analysis and my thesis behind what I'm looking at, what I believe is going to happen, actually does play out or not. So, like I said, this one did work out. You know, reading the charts on the 2, 3 minute, maybe the longer time frame, 15 minute, um, did pay off, and I'm happy with that. Like I said, if I had stayed in it longer, sure, I would have benefited from it, but that's hindsight. So, little by little, I need to work on holding them out longer, and I can definitely profit from it more, you know, greatly once feel more comfortable with holding them. So that's my analysis for today. I have a couple of other trades that I've taken since the last video. I didn't record them, or they're just kind of a little too long. And honestly, I had one day where I was down $30. I took a $30 hit on a trade. So I'm not. This isn't all just green, but I just don't have the recording from that $30 loss. So I'm gonna try to pick up just where I fit. You know, I today, starting from today, and try to keep up with the videos, but the times that I don't record are just the times that I'm on a time crunch and I really can't make the video and then edit it and then post it. So some trades I might take may not have a video, but I'm just gonna try to move forward and post videos on the days that I do actually record. So here's a replay on the short position that I took on QQQ. I'll wind up fast forwarding it just a little bit because I sat in it for about 5 or 6 minutes. But this will give you an idea of the zone that I drew when I took the trade and when I exited the trade. Enjoy.